All right, we'll try that again. Can anybody tell me where I was cut off at?
You just got to the slide with the chakras listed.
Okay, let me go.
And then you talking about like turning that sideways, and you know that
Yes,
you understood a half of it, and
yes. Okay,
then
so
you
here we go.
but drew a line. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So the 3 is at the bottom, the 6 is at the top, and the 9 is governing it all. Or you could look at this, honestly, the 9 is at the top, the 3 is on the right, the left is on the 6, which is the left versus the right brain, the feminine versus the masculine, however you want to look at it, the chaos versus the known, whatever. So we're gonna keep the same. Okay, so this is what is representing the 3. It is the, okay, so this is where we were. So this is the Gimel, the Lamed, and the Shin. This is a picture of the foot, the staff, and the teeth, or the pear, or the fire. Okay, so this is literally saying the messenger who is being led by the fire, or being taught by the fire. That's what that literally says. So your spirit is the messenger being taught by the fire. Okay, now the other side, the man side, is literally the number of man is 6. So this is the number of man. This is the inner meaning of this is either a thorn or protection, depending on what you choose to be. And this is a picture of waters. So I don't know if you guys know anything about natives, but they call their warriors the water protectors. This literally says man protecting water, or man protecting blood. That's literally what man's job is. Sarah, you're on mute if you're trying to say something.
Wow.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Okay.
So the 3 letters there that's the word for 6.
This is the word. Yes. These words, or these letters, they're just in order, just how we had it in the archetype before. So this is the archetype. This is what everything is going to be based off of. This is the inner meaning, the inner meaning, and this is the outer meaning, the spiritual meaning and the physical meaning. So the spiritual meaning of this is being taught, but this is also a staff. So if this staff was over here, then it would have been a physical, but we're talking about this being the inner meaning, the spiritual meaning. So this is being taught, and this is being this is the physical, which is fire. So this is literally fire and water. Fire
is being acted out.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a messenger, and this is man. One is leading and one is protecting. So those are those major jobs. And then if we come up here, what this actually means, sorry, this thing's going in front of me. So this is the Tet. This is, everybody's focused on the Ta, but Abba told me a while back, if you look at the Ta, this is a Ta right inside of the circle. That's a Ta, and Tet makes the same sound. They're both T's, but I think this is the one that people should be really paying attention to. The first will be last, and the first shall be last, and last should be first. And that's what Abba was telling me. So the Ta isn't what we should be paying attention to. It's the protected mark hidden in the midst of the Aleph Bet that we should be looking at. And in this archetype, it's set up. So, and then this one, so this is a Sadi. Sadi, if you see, it's a straight line, and then this little 2 looking thing is another path. So this is literally meaning somebody on its side laying in wait, or it also means righteous, and it also means path. So this is to surround or protect the righteous path, or the righteous way. So that's the job of our Father, is to protect the righteous path. So now we're going to keep this 3, the 6, and the 9. So the 3 is the spirit, the 6 is the flesh, and the 9 is the Father. Now we're going to keep the same creation numbers of 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, and 5. Okay. So doing this, we are going to also look simultaneously at the 7 spirits of God. This is the part that if people don't have eyes to see and ears to hear, they are not going to like this. Okay, because you have to let go of the fear that surrounds what man has taught you about these chakras. Now, the chakras thing that everybody is doing, they use the crystals, okay? They use the whatever vibrations, they download frequencies or play frequencies, but that's the physical. And those things are great, but what I am proposing is that you don't need to force those things physically, because that's trying to work from your top half, then down. That's not how trees are. You're likened to the trees. You start at the root and work your way up, just like they showed in me. So we do these things, you guys, and I propose that you are not just going to have, you know, all these enlightened things happening, but your body from the inside will create those frequencies that you're seeking after to play while you're sleeping. Your body will create them.
Yes.
You will draw
Yes.
crystals to you. You don't have to go buy crystals online or go buy it from some store, because I believe you will be drawn to these things. They will be put, I mean, right at your feet. And I'm not kidding about this. Like, you do it in the spirit. This is what God has been telling me. Do it in the spirit. Do it in the spirit 100%,
Yes.
and then you can do it in the flesh.
That's
and
what he
this is
said when you
literally,
search for me with your whole heart.
yes, this is literally what has like led everything to this. Okay, so like I said, this is really going to bother some people because they don't even want to hear anything about the chakra. I've already heard people getting very upset with me, but these are literally the 7 spirits from Isaiah. Okay. And we know the 7 spirits of Isaiah as number 1 is God the Father. Okay. That's number 9. Okay. That's number 9. I did the colors the same so we could see them. Okay. So God the Father, and then wisdom, understanding, counsel, might, knowledge, and the fear of God. Okay.
Yes.
So how do we get to these things? Okay, great. We got these 7 spirits, but how do we get there? Okay. So if you want, you could read all of these root, you know, the root chakra. This is your sexual energy chakra. This one is your, what they say, your pleasure and self-esteem. I call this ego. This
But
right
see,
here
they're
in your
trying to
stomach,
fix
that's
their
your
eyes
ego.
on a physical though. That's
Yep.
that's fixing the eyes in a physical place on it though.
Exactly. Because
Only in
where are we?
meditation can you find the spiritual places.
Exactly. We're still on the spirit. We're still being led by governed by the 3, right? On our chart, 3 is governing the 2, the 1, the 2, and the 4, and the 6 is governing the 8, the 7, and the 5, and the 9 is governing it all. So the next one is the heart chakra, which is about self-love and blah 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 blah. The throat chakra, they say it's not just the ability to speak, but also to listen, which makes sense because if you've ever had to, you know, if you've ever had strep throat, you've had to go see an ear, nose, and throat specialist. That's because they're connected. Your ears and your throat are connected. One is where the vibration comes out. One is where the vibration goes in, right? So that's where the vibration is.
Nice.
So I, from what my understanding is, I wish we would have had more time to go through the alphabet, but the pay, it's the mouth. The physical, it's a picture of a mouth, but your mouth is the opening to your stomach. It's to the pit. I believe when everybody talks, when everybody talks about you need to cast spirits into the pit of hell, your stomach is the pit of hell, and casting them means casting your ego into your pit and not letting it return back up. Right?
Nice.
Girl,
So,
this is fire.
okay, so here we go. Now this is not thus saith Heather. All I did, y'all, okay, is these are the 3s in the alphabet. These are the 6s. These are the 9s. This is all I did. All I did was add the 1s here, the 2s here, the 4s here in the same creation sequence that Tesla showed, that, you know, it goes in the infinity symbol, thus creating like a torus field. Okay, so
which in that Tesla thing, when I look at it, I can't help but see the 2 tablets of Moses and climbing a mountain of God.
I can't help but see. Okay, I'm gonna go back to it in a minute, but I can't help but see DMT in it. I that's the first thing I saw before I even knew what DMT was. Brother Eric had to teach me, school me on this, and I was blown away. Okay, so let me not get ahead of myself. Okay. So how does our messenger being led by the fire, our AKA our spirit, get to fear God? What is that first step? Okay, people are like, oh, how I need to open my root chakra. You don't need to open anything. All it is these things are blocked. You work at what God is telling you with number 1, and this is how they will unblock on their own. You don't have to
personal trauma
open, right?
Through healing personal trauma,
right? So this number 1, this is how you know. This is the beginning of all. This is the Father pointing to the place between light and dark. This is the Father, the Aleph, the Yod.
And that's different for everyone.
Yes, but you need to see the light and the dark. In order to truly fear God, you need to see both, and you need to make that realization of that line that's in the middle, and what is right and what is wrong, what is up, what is down, what is left, and what is right. Okay, so that is the root. Fearing God is coming, you know, wrestling with God, really, and you're grabbing him by the horns. That's what this says to me. It's the Father pointing at the place between light and dark. The Holy One
And that's
pointing.
Jacob wrestling the
Yeah.
angel.
Yes, exactly.
That's the
brother.
beginning of it to
Exactly.
pineal.
Exactly. Okay, so the next one is the sacral, right? So the sacral is
Yes.
where they say it's this. Is it sacral, right? Am I right?
Sacral. Sacral, however.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
The
okay. No,
sacral.
you're good. I mean, like you said, it's personal,
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. This one is where they say sexual energy comes from, right? Well, here's an intimacy and emotional isolation. Okay, so this is really what it is. It is the knowledge of the Father. Okay, remember, we're still looking at the seven spirits. This is a knowledge. Remember when the Bible where it said the man knew his wife? This is a type of
Yes.
knowing in the spirit to know
Yep.
God. That's the true
Mhm.
intimacy. So people thinking that their sexual magic is doing something other than
No, it's
create.
just the depiction of Christ inside of you.
That all you're doing is the physical. You got to get to. I'm not saying sex is bad. I'm saying
Right.
if you're trying to work your way up to the Father, what you're needing to do is to have a physical and spiritual knowledge of the Father, which or a spiritual
Right.
knowledge.
Because otherwise you're building Babylon like
Right.
Nimrod. You're
Right.
being King Nimrod.
So what were we told is we're told that we will have a mark on our hands or on our head, right?
Right.
On our forehead. Okay. So to know God, the knowledge of God, this Beit is our house, our body. This is a picture of a kaf, which is a hand, and the resh, which is a man's head. So this is literally saying the body, the hand, and the head. Your mark will be on your body will be on your hand or your head, and that is to know God.
Or your body's actions will be the mark on your hand and head.
Exactly. But the archetype
your body's
here,
actions show what you believe.
Yeah, exactly. The body type here, or the archetype here, is just saying in. So in your hand and in your head, in your hand and head. That is to
so
know
the mark
God.
is within.
Yes.
It's not an external mark.
On the
spirit. Everything's spiritual. Yeah.
Everything is spirit.
Wow,
Okay.
this is so mind blowing.
So
Okay, what,
Go
brother?
ahead, Charlie.
Sacral is, do you think it overlays like the gut?
No. Well, okay. So what I look at this as, because I did a little bit more research, and also I don't think I have my notes out here with me right now, but
Well, it's the beginning of a sacred process.
Well, because okay, our sexual organs and our other organs are right next to each other, which to me is like the dichotomy of that your ultimate pleasure is like right next to the
knowing
place
God
unpleasant.
is knowing God. Yeah.
Oh.
So, but like it all starts down there right above the root.
Right. Where everything comes out.
Right. And and it's as close to it as it could be without actually being it. Right.
And also your sexual parts are what are used for making babies, birthing something, growing something, and giving something nutrients inside of you. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
So this is crazy because I actually was trying to look into, because like I said, I believe in God and Jesus. I call them different things, but I see this, and the only reason I refused to look into this before is because I was scared of it, and the fear is literally melted off me. The blinders have been taken off to where I can see the difference now. I can understand the difference, and there's nothing to be afraid of. You know what I mean? There is ways to talk about this to people so they understand, but people are just not understanding. They see these rainbow things and they get all weirded out, which I guess is the enemy's whole purpose of doing it this way is to scare people away. But the main thing that I'm trying to do here is find actual physical things. And there's some new studies coming out, or have been coming out, about fascia and the different functions of fascia in your body. And I also saw the 6 different functions of the fascia. One of them, which I attributed to this sacral, is where they house all of the food for the cells, and the nutrients are held there. And that's what our body is. That's where our
which is like the spaces in between.
To know God is spiritual food, right?
Right.
Which, yes.
Okay, now this is the one. Y'all. This is the one that I've been so excited. I am like I'm just over the rainbow for this. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on my camera real quick just so I can oh wait, if I can do this right. Oh, maybe I'm not going to. Oh, here we go. Okay, so looking back at my terrible drawing, but so continuing with the 1, 2, 4, and then crossing over to the 8. So we already did 1, we already did 2, we're at 4. Now we're getting ready to cross all the way over to 8. So now we're crossing the invisible plane, right? Now we're crossing the invisible plane, and we are going to true heroism, which the Bible calls it the spirit of might, which is also, true heroism, which is what? True heroes will sacrifice themselves for everyone else. They will sacrifice themselves. That's what true heroes do, right? We hear of the warriors, like I was telling brother, we are rainbow warriors in the Native American prophecies. A warrior is someone who will lay down their life for other people, not these these soldiers, these corporate killing machines that we know of today. There's a very big difference, True heroes, true might is someone who will lay down themselves. So this one, how do we get there? What did I do? Did I do something?
Y'all, I had a guy. Never mind.
No, go ahead, brother.
This is amazing.
Okay.
Like he told me this. He was telling me about that. What you mentioned a while ago, the fascia, the crystal, this crystalline stuff. He was like breaking down to me his understanding of it, and like it was amazing how it just tied into all of this stuff, like the different crystals that the prophets wore on their chest and stuff. It represented these things being like actually open within them, like that, or that they had healed these certain areas within them, through trauma healing is how I'm understanding it now. But it was explained as like a methodical religious act type of deal, like you were talking about. But he was talking about that fascia being like the chemicals in our brain that becomes crystallized during immense rest or meditation.
Okay, no, what? Okay, so
and that by that,
I don't know about that crystallized thing, but I know your fascia has this uncanny, like they're just starting to really get into, or maybe they're just starting to let it out. Who really knows the truth? But your fascia can harden or liquefy. It can turn into it can liquefy to make it more malleable and glide more hydrated. And it can do this not just by actual physical touch, but if you get stressed out or in an emotional state, it'll tense you up and actually physically tense up the fascia in your body and harden it to a tacky glue-like state where it should be flowing like water. And I swear, y'all, since I started doing some of this stuff and trying to be quiet and feel the energy, you can actually feel it. You know that feeling when you get goosebumps all over your body? It starts from your center and just bolts out of you, feels like almost like electricity. I think it has to do with the fascia. I can't prove it. I'm just getting into this, but it's wild, y'all. It's been wild.
Oh, really?
Okay, so check this out. So now we're getting ready to cross over. Still picturing our thing. We're getting ready to cross over on our mark over to the 6. So this is the last one. Number 4. 4 is Dalit. This is a terrible picture of a Dalit. A Dalit is actually more like a triangle, but this is Dalit. Mem is 40, and this is a picture of water or chaos. And this is 400. This is Ta. It's a mark or a monument or a sign. So what this literally is, it says the door to chaos's mark. I don't know if you guys know anything about Hebrew, but Mem Ta, that's Met. That's the word for death. So this is literally saying the door to death. The door to chaos's mark is a door to death. This literally says DMT. DMT. Okay.
Wow.
So here's the wild thing, y'all. We're still talking about in the spirit.
Charlie, what you think, buddy?
DMT in the spirit is what.
Wow.
And how do you do that? What What is the door to death? The death of what is here? The ego, the death of ego, the true
Right.
enemy, me, myself, and I. True heroism
So
is
when your
sacrificing
ego,
yourself, walking through that door of death of ego in the spirit.
So do
and
you
so
know
like,
the
so when you,
significance of 1, 2, and 4?
Say what, brother?
I said, do you know the significance of 1, 2, and 4?
No, but I'd love for you to tell me.
no,
Right, that's the start of the Fibonacci sequence. And if you don't know what that is, it's the mathematical code that makes all of nature symmetrical.
What is the rest of it?
I mean, I don't know it off the top of my head, but
Could it be
that's-
875? Could it be this?
I mean, it could be. That's why I was like, does she know this?
Ah,
Because that's the start of the spiral, you know, or the triangle. Like 1 length, 2 length, the 4 length of the right sided triangle.
Oh. Okay. I will definitely have to look into that. So now this is where you pass over, right? The door to the spirit, dying, the dying to self, dying to ego.
Heather,
Okay, now-
listen, hold on. It would be it because 8 would double to 16, and then you add 6 plus 1 equals 7. That's how that works. You get it to its smallest number. That would be it on the Fibonacci sequence. I just kind of looked it up real quick as y'all was
Is
asking.
it?
Yes, that's it. That's how that works. Yes. So it does
Oh.
turn from the 8. It goes the 8, because listen, the 8 doubles. The 8 goes to 16.
Yeah.
So, but when it's 16, you got to go to the lowest number. So you
Right,
the
right.
6 plus
Vortex
the
math.
1
You're
is
trying
7.
to keep it at 1 digit.
Yep, that's vortex math. Keeping it at 1 digit. So that's what it is.
That's literally what all of these
And
are.
you know what else? Okay, so what you were saying a while ago on the DMT, did you know that like upon whenever we die, our bodies, our DMT is released in our bodies?
Right.
See, okay, this is the part where
It's
I'm
a
curious.
physical fact.
Birth and death.
This is where I'm curious.
But yeah,
because
birth
on
and
that
death.
on that triangle that I was showing you that I know it needs to be flipped, I bet you anything the DMT is gonna fall somewhere on the physical thing too that's gonna blow us away. Like these things I think are gonna be switched. Like we're looking at just this one half. I think they can be switched and saying something else. This is what is so cool about the Father's words is he literally, it don't matter what way you put it. This is just how I happen to look it up. I think you could read it backwards, forwards, sideways, you know what I mean? Jumble them up, pick different sequences. I don't think it matters. And I think that's why it is God, is because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who or what way you look at it. If you're looking, seek and you shall find. Seek and you shall find. Yep. Okay, so I'm almost done. This one is the heart
Right.
chakra, what they call the heart chakra,
Seek
the
and
center of your
find.
chest, relationships. But really it's the seventh, or it's one of the 7 spirits, and it's the counsel to console someone. And how do you really console somebody? Okay, so pet, this is the number 8, 80, and 800. Pay. So this is the first pay, and this is the final pay. So it's the same letter.
Right.
So this literally means to protect or to guard. It's a picture of a fence, and this is a mouth. The physical meaning is like the edge of something, or like the inner meaning is like the edge of something, or a pit, or endless. And then this is a mouth or a pit, or an opening or an edge. So it literally says
Oh, a portal or a door.
guard, yes, to guard the portal of your stomach, or the portal
Guard
of
both
the pit.
doors.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
I
guard
personally
both
read it
appetites.
because
both
I read
portals.
it how I already read. So I read it as guarding the pit of your stomach, or guarding the opening of your pit. So when we were talking about down here, number 4
Like your mouth.
is your stomach. The pay is the mouth, the opening to your stomach. So when I died
guarding
to
it
self,
would protect the mouth.
yeah, when I died to self, when I was down here in spirit and I went through the door of death, And that means I put those spirits down into the pit. So now if I really want to console and counsel someone, I have to guard that pit of my mouth to not let what I put down come back up. That's how you really open up these vibrations.
Fire, girl.
Okay, so let's keep going now.
Come on
the throat. Okay, we're back to the spirit of understanding. So what is true understanding? True understanding.
Hold on, I just want to say this. All rights reserved. Ain't nobody can take this information and go make money on it, because we give it to the world for free.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All rights reserved.
That's
right.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So no doubling up on us. This is the world's information for free.
Right. Thank you, brother.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so now we are at oh wait, hold on. I think I got this one backwards. Let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, these are backwards.
What, number 7?
Yeah, this
wisdom?
is not number 7. So number 7 is actually the Zayin. So I actually accidentally switched these two when I was putting it in here.
Okay.
So my bad. 7.
You good.
So we're just gonna look at this one. It is to divide the eye for your seed. So what I am going to do before I speak,
or the division of racism, or the division. Wow. Oh my gosh. That has so many different meanings right there.
So, okay. So if we look right here, the throat chakra is located at the center of the neck. It represents the ability to speak and to communicate clearly and effectively. It would be shyness, withdrawn, whatever. So I need, if I'm going to properly communicate, so my mind, yeah, that's what they said, but that's not really a great explanation. Let's understand what it is true understanding is being able to listen and speak. That's true understanding, right?
Wow.
So how do we truly understand?
Mhm.
You have to divide your
knowing
left
when
and
to
your right
speak.
eye for your continuation, for your seed. So true understanding is me learning to divide the left from the right before I pass it on to my seed, to my children, who will perpetuate and continue my lineage, right? Okay, and here we go to the third eye, what they call the third eye. We know it as just straight up wisdom. That's the 7th spirit, or the 6th spirit. It is wisdom. And how do you have true wisdom? Well, it starts in the spirit, right? Because that's our spirit man.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It starts in the spirit, and noon is the continuing or something that grows. This, the adult model would be like, okay, let's just look at, it's a seed. Okay. It's a seed sprout, and, a human seed sprout as well. So it's something that grows. Well, since we're looking at the archetype of the inner meaning, this literally means a spirit man who grows something inside for the hand to give. That's what real wisdom is. The spirit growing something inside for the hand to give.
Wow.
And then the father,
This is
and
amazing.
you're working your way. You have to start at the bottom. You have to grab life by the horns and look at that place between light.
You come some other way, you're a thief or a robber.
Right.
Yep.
You get them, get your body, your house in order, and you receive that mark on your hand and on your head. Then you die, you go to the door of death in the spirit of ego. Then you guard the pit of your mouth. Then you divide the 2 eyes, the left from the right, for your seed. Then the spirit man grows something that he can give. And that is how you get up to the 9, the crown, the father, who is protecting the righteous path. He's overlooking it all.
And this is ascension. And you know what? There's keys to this. I really think.
Go, brother.
I really think that each spirit has a 3-day fast involved in it.
Amen.
And I really think that the 3-day fast on each one of them, I think that 3-day fast on each one of them becomes the 21 days of the Daniel fast.
Oh, wow.
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 Do you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Yes.
think that if you put 3 days, if you put 3 days on every one of these spirits on a fast and you continue in it throughout this process, you've gone 21 days. And I mean, all of this is like, I can see all of this in the book of Daniel, like through like
Yes, sir.
principles and reading the book of Daniel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is the book that'll be revealed that he talks about in Daniel 12.
Amen.
What
I just
if-
don't want people to
hey.
get too legalistic about this stuff, because we've all just been led by the
No.
Spirit.
Right.
I mean,
This
other
is
people
literally
in the
over
world
3
will
days.
get legalistic.
You want to know how the Father was
Right,
working?
right.
Sarah, today, after I talked to you, you sent me a video. You sent me 2 videos, right? That
Yes.
video that you sent me, the first one where he's talking about the atoms, I literally was sitting in my backyard with the 3 archetypes and broken up into the 3 sets of 9. And I watched that exact video that you sent me, and it sent me down this spiral of what I'm showing you right now. Then the
Wow.
man that you sent me a video of, Muscles and Nursing, back on my old TikTok account, me and him used to get into it. We were fighting back and forth like at each other's throats. So out of all the people you sent me on TikTok, like it was 2 very meaningful things. It was like,
She
Uh-huh.
sent
man, you start
your
opening up that
challenge.
door and the synchronicities are everywhere. You just have to see it. Like it's so
Yes.
wild to
Yes.
me, y'all. Like it's
Yes.
crazy. And I want to share this so bad, but like I said, someone I love very dearly, I tried to show her this and I could hear in her voice was trembling when she was telling me that she thinks I'm getting into some dark stuff that I shouldn't be getting near. And Charlie,
Yeah, they're
Eric, you
afraid.
both remember me telling you guys that like I'm scared, like I'm still nervous. I'm like working through it because this is raised as a Baptist Christian, you know what I mean? This is like the devil's work.
Listen,
once I
hey y'all,
realized
listen.
The
Oh.
devil is
It's all
really
for
me, myself, and I. It's ego. I am the mother of the demons. Anything that has ever come, and I don't mean I'm evil. I mean everything that is evil, I have done. It's all every kind of lust.
Same.
hurt,
no,
That's
you're
crazy.
explaining
That's
it
exactly
just like
what I
Paul
said.
did.
So when it returns
You're
back to me,
explaining
all
it
it's
just
doing
like
is
Paul
returning
did.
back to who put it out. So who can I be mad at?
Right.
What is there to fear now?
You
I'll just
can't.
take it back
You
and
can't.
birth something
Who can
new.
you judge? You
Yeah.
can't. Like nobody, none of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, but listen, think about this, guys. I was just wondering if like this may be that season where his spirit's poured out on all flesh, but at the
Yes.
same time, maybe we should like pray and like pray for a day or 2 and like make sure that these ain't us casting pearls before swine out of
Mhm.
like some kind of ego in us, you know. Just
Amen.
make sure, let's just make sure that ain't
Yeah.
it, because like I don't want to do nothing and create a dual
Right.
negative. I want to
Right.
create dual positives. You get what I'm saying? So like in my heart, I
Absolutely.
feel like it's pure on this, and I just
Yeah.
want all of us to check our hearts, because bro, that we listen, out of our heart we're gonna project good or we're gonna project bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I think the nature of it though is divisive because
I agree.
Christ said, "I've come to bring a sword."
For sure.
So like, there's only
You're
some.
all right. Maybe
So-
now is the season when this is supposed to be the division, you know?
He could also just be confirming for people. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Right.
God's met us all individually. You know, like people are getting these downloads and they don't understand.
Right.
So it could just be confirmation for them, which could be good.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm like, I believe it should go out, but I'm gonna still pray and like and just, you know, double check. You know, it never hurts to double check anything.
Amen.
Because I sure don't. I know this because there's certain church people that I've took this information type to,
Yep.
and it made them want to leave the church.
Mm-hmm.
Made them want to quit, made them want to give up. And I don't mean leave the church like the church building. I think that would actually be a good thing for people to do. I mean,
Yeah.
leave the church like this is too much. I can't understand it. I'm not going, because they weren't led there by spirit, but they was led there by ear, you know.
Ah.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't want to. I don't want to be the I know all of this stuff is going to be a heart's reflection, you know, whatever their heart, if they watch this video and if their heart's reflection is in something evil, that's what they'll receive from this. No matter how much truth you poured out all over them.
Yep.
They'll receive an evil reflection because it's a reflection of themselves, you know?
Yes.
Right. Evil
We were
comes
just talking
out of
about
the
that
heart,
today.
you know.
Mhm. Like if a person goes into any, I think there's like a delay here because it kind of like people will
Yeah.
be talking and I'll start talking over them.
Yeah, it happens.
And then I
sometimes.
realize that they're talking.
I forgot to warn you
All
about
right.
that.
So I don't mean to be rude.
No,
I
not
don't
at
mean to
all, brother.
talk over nobody. Like, okay, so today, let me tell y'all what happened. I got to speak to a guy that was a Hebrew Israelite, and him and his wife, like, she commented on one of my videos and she was like, hey, I really want to pick your brain on the topic. And come to find out, like, this guy and his wife, and this guy's done changed his name to well, I'm not going to say no names. I'm sorry.
I can
But
stop
anyway,
this. You want me to
like,
stop
it
this
was
recording?
probably
Okay.
so on this,
Okay.
because like I don't want to. But anyway, like this dude